Tired of seeing Red Bull win every week? Christian Horner has a few words for you, and you might not be happy about what he has to say. The way he's talking right now, it looks like their supremacy is here to stay. Some people have even started talking about Max Verstappen's capability of erasing everything Lewis Hamilton has built the past few years. Let's take a look at the shape of Red Bull heading into the season break in today's video. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner understands that some fans might be getting a bit weary of our team's dominant performance in Formula One. They've already smashed McLaren's record for the most consecutive wins with their impressive 12th triumph in Hungary, and the Belgian Grand Prix proved that the dominance era of Red Bull is far from over. Max Verstappen started from P6 on the grid due to a penalty for changing his gearbox, but he didn't let that stop him. He showed his true racing prowess by clinching a fantastic victory, finishing a whopping 22 seconds ahead of his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez. This secured Red Bull's 1-2 finish, and it marked Verstappen's 8th consecutive win. With the summer break now upon us, it's safe to say that Red Bull has a tight grip on the championship title. They've been performing at an exceptional level, leaving the rest of the grid struggling to keep up. Christian Horner couldn't be prouder of his team, and he has every reason to be. They're setting an unmatched standard that others can't even come close to challenging. While talking to Sky F1, Horner said this about how their season has gone so far. "It's been the most amazing first half of the season. We're over halfway now. It's all about teamwork and about everybody doing their best, and that's what the team has done in these first 12 races of the year. And so to go in unbeaten into the summer break is mind-blowing. The way the team is operating at the moment, we just need to keep this level going. Everybody deserves a well-earned break over the next couple of weeks, recharge the batteries, and then come back hard. Zandvoort, that will be a crazy race, and Monza, and then the international races. So we just want to keep the momentum going. We're taking it one race at a time, and great to see another 1-2 today." Red Bull's Formula One dominance, marked by Max Verstappen's 8 consecutive wins, has left other teams in the dust despite the ground effect regulations, budget cap, and wind tunnel testing aimed at bunching up the competition. Christian Horner understands that fans may find the predictable results anticlimactic, but emphasizes Red Bull's relentless effort and commitment to excelling within the regulations. While they acknowledge the desire for more thrilling races, Red Bull remains focused on delivering their best performance and is open to improvements that level the playing field. Horner added that, "We've won 20 races out of the last 21. I mean, it's an incredible achievement. I know it might not be popular with the fans because it's predictable, but we're just focused on trying to extract the best that we can. And it's a very special moment for this team because it's historic. 1988 was the last time that anything like this was achieved, and to think that we've been the team that have been able to break that is something we could have only dreamed about." F1 journalist and former team manager Peter Windsor has come out to say that Max Verstappen's connection with the Red Bull car is superior to Lewis Hamilton's relationship with the Mercedes machinery. During a live stream on YouTube analysing the Hungarian Grand Prix, Windsor praised Verstappen, stating that the Dutchman does an excellent job, possibly even better than any other driver. During the live stream, when asked about the gap between Red Bull and the emerging contenders from McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, Peter Windsor leaned towards the idea that Max Verstappen's performance is a significant factor. He suggested that Verstappen's connection with the RB19 is now stronger than Hamilton's connection with the Mercedes cars during his 6 championship victories, which tied him with Michael Schumacher for a record 7 championship wins overall. Windsor said this about Verstappen's success. "Part of the problem is that Max does such a good job, and he did such a good job in Hungary, that he was able to extend the stints to such a point where in the back half of the race, his tyres are 10 laps newer than anybody else's. And that's how he wins these Grand Prix, making it look so incredibly easy. If McLaren are out of their sweet spot with tyre temperatures, would Lando be able to make the McLaren look as good as it would? Could, by just the way he drives the car and manages the temperatures. My guess is no. I think Max does a better job than probably anybody else right now in that, because he's been in this zone of working with Red Bull and the car and understanding the car and what to feel and what not to feel for a long time now." Sergio Perez admitted that his final margin of defeat against Max Verstappen at Spa was inflated due to a combination of his own mistake and the need to nurse his Red Bull RB19 to the finish. In a conversation with Sky F1 after the race, Perez was asked if the victory was ever within reach for him at Spa-Francorchamps. According to Sergio Perez, after Max Verstappen had passed him, he made an error by going off at turn 11, which allowed the gap between them to widen. Additionally, Red Bull's decision to use a too aggressive setup for the first time in dry conditions during the weekend further complicated Perez's race. As a result, his focus shifted from challenging for the win to ensuring he finished the race to secure a Red Bull 1-2. He said, "Especially on that second stint, he pulled away. Good gap. And then I went into turn 11 and the gap got bigger. So from that point onwards, it was all about making sure that we brought it home, because we were a bit too aggressive with the car setup. Not having any practice, so it was important just to make sure we could bring the car home." As Perez's title challenge has faltered, with Verstappen securing 8 consecutive wins after both drivers started the season with 2 wins each, he was questioned about the performance gap between them while driving the same RB19. Apart from the factors discussed from the Belgium race, Perez acknowledges that Verstappen's exceptional ability also plays a significant role in this equation. He recognizes and doesn't downplay Verstappen's impressive skills, which contribute to the difference in their performance despite being in the same car. There's nothing to be taken away from Max, certainly. He did a tremendous race and he has done a tremendous race. But the gap looked bigger today due to the reasons that I just mentioned, because we had to make sure we brought it home once the result was settled. But certainly, he has done a tremendous job and he's very talented. I think around this team they're getting the maximum out of the weekends, weekend after weekend, which is really impressive. And when asked if he could give Verstappen a run for his money in the second half of the season, Perez said, "That will be my target. We have this summer break to make sure we get on top of things. We have a bit of time and hopefully we're able to find something that can bring us to the form we had earlier in the season." Red Bull's Helmut Marko didn't hold back in his assessment of Sergio Perez, delivering his signature harsh critique. Despite this, Marko has expressed his support for Perez retaining his seat in the F1 2024 driver lineup. He told Motorsport Total, "We have a contract with Perez until the end of 2024. He is second in the World Championship. What need do we have to take action? He has now woken up from his World Championship dream. Maybe that will help him to focus again on delivering the best possible performance." Max is underestimated. He is an exceptional driver. Just looking at the mental capacities he still has. He even noticed on the radio when my mobile rang. He has such talent, such speed, and he's on cloud 9. No one would look good next to him. Verstappen is a completely different yardstick. That Perez has to be within 3/10 of Max is a generous interpretation on our part. Sometimes it was more. Perez is second in the World Championship. More is not possible for him. He is fulfilling that at the moment. Is Max Verstappen's period of dominance better than Lewis Hamilton's? Do you have the patience to keep watching it for at least a few more years? Tell us in the comment section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.